Hey everyone, and welcome. If you're an event producer who's constantly dreaming of turning that on-site chaos into a smooth, data-driven experience, then you've definitely come to the right place. Today, we are jumping into the ultimate operational guide for the premium smart coin, a piece of tech that's honestly changing the game for high-end events. So let's get right into it.
So let's just start with the big question. For all the planning, all the creativity, and all the budget we pour into our events, what are the three things that can quietly kill a great attendee experience on the day?
You got it. It's the long, soul-crushing lines at the entrance, it's the clunky, awkward payment process at the bar, and it's the total lack of real, actual data on what's happening on the ground. These are the things that can just sink even the most amazing plans. But what if a single, elegant piece of tech could tackle all three at once?
And that, of course, brings us to the coin at its secret sauce. How does this one small premium item become the central nervous system for a totally flawless event? Well, it all kicks off with a technology that, honestly, most of us use every single day.
That technology is near-field communication, or NFC. Now, the most important part of this slide, the thing you really got to lock in on, is the phrase intentional tap. See, unlike other technologies like long-range RFID, NFC needs a deliberate action from the user, and this is so crucial. It means every single interaction is verified, it's consent-driven, it's real data, not just a guess based on who walked by a sensor.
So let's pop the hood and look inside the coin itself. You've got a really powerful NFC chip, and it's protected by this premium metal housing. But here's the brilliant part, the design. You've got a PU leather surface on one side and metal on the other. The leather side, that's your active side. It sends the signal. The metal side, that's inactive. It actually blocks the signal. This creates what we call a unidirectional credential, and I'm telling you, this one tiny design detail is the absolute key to mastering the on-site implementation.
Okay, so now we get the tech. Let's talk about how to actually implement it. Look, a perfect event day doesn't just magically happen. It's built weeks, sometimes even months ahead of time. This is the blueprint phase. This is where your operational strategy is really born.
First things first, you have to decide exactly what you want this coin to do. Is it just for getting people in the door, or are you running the whole shebang? Cashless payments, tracking sponsor engagement, everything. Once you know the what, you move to the how. And that means deep integration with all your other systems, your registration platform, your CRM, to make sure that data is flowing seamlessly from the second a ticket is bought.
But listen, technology is only half the equation. You absolutely, positively must train your staff. They are your front line. They need to be experts in how the readers work and, more importantly, how to fix the most common problems on the fly. And finally, you test everything. And I don't just mean you check if it turns on. I mean you stress test it. You simulate that big 10 a.m. entry rush and the 8 p.m. bar rush to make damn sure the network and the hardware can take the heat. Okay, all that planning is in the can. It's showtime. This is where that blueprint gets put to the ultimate test in a live environment, with thousands of people all expecting a perfectly smooth experience. Now, with any new piece of tech, there's always going to be a little bit of a learning curve for the user, right? So let me ask you, with this specific one-sided coin, what do you think is the #1 mistake an attendee is going to make? Yep, you guessed it, tapping with the metal back facing the reader. Remember, that metal side is basically a shield. It's designed to block the signal. It's a simple, honest mistake, but if it happens over and over and over, it creates friction. It slows things down. It's the very thing we're trying to get rid of.
But this is where great operational planning really shines. You anticipate this. You see it coming a mile away. So you solve it with a simple 4-point plan. You use design, visual cues, tactile cues to make the active side super obvious. You use your people, staff who are right there at the entrance showing the first few hundred people how to tap correctly. And you use communication, clear, simple signs that show the right way to do it. You see? You solve the problem before it even becomes a problem.
The lights are off, the crowds are gone, but your work is not over. In fact, you could argue that one of the most valuable phases is just getting started. It's time to unlock the story that your event just told you through its data.
And this is where the real magic happens. You're no longer guessing which sponsor booth was popular. You have the exact verified tap counts. You can literally watch the flow of your attendees with heat maps, which helps you totally optimize the layout for next year. This is how you finally move from pure guesswork to data-driven event design. So we've walked through the whole life cycle, right? Pre-event, on-site, post-event. But why? Why go through all this trouble? What is the real strategic payoff for you, the producer? Well, let's look at the hard numbers. They don't lie.
I mean, just look at this. You can cut your entry processing time by more than 75%. That is not just a number on a chart. That is the difference between a massive, frustrating queue snaking around the block and a smooth, welcoming flow of happy attendees. That first impression is absolutely everything.
And what about revenue? How does a 15 to 25% increase in what people spend sound? Because when a purchase is as simple as a quick tap, that little barrier, that moment of hesitation just vanishes, and that goes directly to your bottom line.
Now this table right here, this really pulls it all together. Because it's not just about speed. It's about needing fewer staff, which lowers your labor costs. It's about going from maybe 85% data accuracy with manual counts to nearly 99% with automated taps. This is a complete operational upgrade across the entire board.
And at the end of the day, this is the metric that matters most. All the efficiency, all the data, it all leads to one thing: a better experience. And a happy attendee is one who comes back next year and brings their friends, period.
So I'll leave you with this one final thought. We often create memorabilia, right? Something for attendees to take home to remember the event by. But what if that exact same object was also your most powerful tool for killing queues, for boosting revenue, and for capturing priceless data? With this technology, it absolutely can be.